Welcome to Rhythm of Love, the podcast. I'm Clarence.
And I'm Yalonda. We celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary by writing a book together about what it took to get us here.
And in this podcast, we go deeper and break down what we learned along the way. We hope you enjoy and engage.
Comment, share, and subscribe. We'd love to hear what you have to say about what it takes to make relationships last.
Yes, we will.
Welcome, lovelies, to the Rhythm of Love podcast.
Yes.
We are so happy to have y'all here with us.
We are. I'm just happy that it's earlier than it usually is.
Yes.
By like
Sounds
an hour earlier than it normally is. So
our baby is sick. The reason it's earlier is because, we have to wait until our Princess Diva goes to sleep before we can record.
Right.
And she's not feeling well today. So she went straight to bed.
Correct.
Tonight. So we had plenty of time to get ready to do this recording.
Plenty of time.
So we hate that it had to be that way.
To a degree.
It's okay.
To a degree. I don't ever hate.
But we appreciate the early.
Go to bed.
I don't want her to feel bad. So yeah, here we are.
Here we are.
Here you are.
Thank
you so much for watching. Rhythm of Love was spawned out of our live stream that we do on Sundays. We want you to join us there on twitch.tv. Twitch.tv/DJC Sharp is where we meet in the basement every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for R&B and shenanigans in the basement. We call it Heartbeats because it's mainly love songs. So if you get into those slow jams, let's see, we just did Triple Play third Sunday.
Correct.
And so that meant that there was, for each artist, we played 3 songs.
Back to back.
Artist back to back. And even one artist, we only got all 3 songs from the same album. That was Marvin Gaye, I Want You.
Yes.
I know you would love that. So join us. 4th Sunday is Freestyle 4th Sunday.
Well, we won't be here this Sunday.
That's right. No Freestyle 4th Sunday in September because C Sharp, aka Clarence, will be traveling for work.
We got a 5th Sunday in September, which is unusual. So we'll have something that we'll do on the 5th Sunday.
Okay, Freestyle 5th Sunday.
I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll figure out something.
Freaky style 5th Sunday.
Let's.
So yeah, we had planned for 5th Sundays because they don't happen that often.
Right.
Please join us there. Out of that spawned a book for our 25th anniversary that we wrote to each other called The Rhythm of Love. And out of that spawned this podcast so we could talk a little bit more about our rhythm and hopefully give you some tips on how to find yours.
Just give you some of our stuff.
So, that's right. Some thoughts and ideas, some conversation starters. That's what we call ourselves. We love to get conversations started between couples or, among single people about what it takes to make a relationship last for a lifetime.
Correct. But yes, indeed.
There we go.
Although I met somebody tonight who I went to high school with. They've been married for 30 years.
Yeah. People are
and same age as I.
Right.
Yeah, so that means they got married 2 years younger before we did.
So we thought we were kids.
Right.
They were really babies.
Right. I mean, that means she got married at 20.
To make it work.
And she got like 21 years old. She got married. And to the guy who she had been dating since the 11th grade.
Wow. So some people don't even know anybody else other than their spouse.
She met him. He became as a military spouse. They got married. He joined the military. They moved to Germany. It's just all kind of stuff. So she told me a great story tonight, and it was nice to hear. And she was a fan, so she actually had seen our Sunday stream. She knew all those things, so it was really appreciative for her to hear that.
I love that.
From a person who I don't talk to with any regularity,
and didn't know that she was tuning in.
Did not know. She's never commented or not one time.
Shout out, friend, and more power to you in making that love last for a triple double lifetime, girl.
Yes, 30 years. 30 years.
Here we are, 28 years later.
28 years. And I thought we were far along until she said, I've been married for 30 years. I was like, wow.
Well, someone else who tunes in, Curry Crab, on IG, they've been married 32 years.
32 years.
So they actually got married while they were still college students.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
So here's to you finding your love connection that's for a lifetime, doing the work to make it actually last a lifetime and enjoying it along the way.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I guess it's a wonder we made it here because according to you, I have tried to kill you a few times.
So this whole episode is going to be about how I've survived the onslaught of murderous activities that have been put on perpetrated against me. And I'm not sure if she's just not very good at it or if I'm just too stupid to go because someone's trying to kill me. But we're going to talk about it. Okay? That's what we're talking about.
Supposedly has evidence and receipts.
Is that,
I don't think so.
My sheer being here
says that I wasn't trying to kill you.
That's
if I tried to kill you.
People survive attempted. That's why it's called attempted murder.
But I just keep attempting though,
and I just keep sticking around, allowing it to be attempted. That's the crazy part.
I'm like the Black Widow out here.
All right, so let's
can't quite get it right. The bumbling Black Widow.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you guys what happened, and then she's going to explain to you her side of what happened, and I'll let you guys decide whether or not was she trying to kill me or she was not. So you're the jury.
Yes,
you guys are the jury.
Put it to you.
So and in the chat,
the grand jury.
This is capital murder trial. So the jury is here. So you guys are telling. I'm gonna put a Law and Order sound right here, and we're gonna keep this going. All right. So the year was 2000.
Okay.
The year was 2000. It was the summer of 2000. The location is Zurich, Switzerland. Okay, the location is Zurich. So this is like an Interpol. Somebody call Interpol. Zurich, Switzerland. A friend of mine had an apartment in Switzerland. Well, we were in Switzerland working. We were both in Switzerland working. She was working for the University of Zurich, and I was working for the United Bank of Switzerland. So we're there. Our apartment where we're staying is kind of, dormitory like, not very nice, but it's, it foots the bill. We'll just call
it a room with shared bathroom and kitchen.
It foots the bill. So a friend of mine that I had met from work, who ended up becoming a pretty good friend of ours, a guy named Alan, he lived there permanently, so he had a nice apartment. So he said, I'm going out of town this weekend. I know that you guys don't really like the place that you're staying. Why don't you stay at my apartment for the weekend? And I was like, oh, that sounds great. That's exactly what we'll do. We'll stay at your apartment. So he gave me a key and we go over there. So we pick up some food on the way
to cook
because we're only spending Saturday night going into Sunday. So we pick up some food to cook. The food was tortellini pasta. I mean, this is how when you almost die, your life flashes in front of you, and it's almost like written into your soul. It's seared into your soul.
Mm-hmm.
So tortellini pasta was what we picked up with some marinara sauce, not even meat sauce, just straight marinara sauce.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to his apartment, and Yalonda's going into the kitchen to start cooking all of this stuff, and I noticed that he has a collection of DVDs. And he has a couple of movies that I've never seen. So we pick out the movie that I had never seen, one of the movies I had never seen. In this case, it was Fight Club.
Okay.
So
details.
Listen, Fight Club. So he didn't have a DVD player, but he had his computer hooked up to the DVD player. So now I got to kind of figure it out to the TV. So now I got to kind of figure out how this is working. So I'm over there figuring this out, going through my processes, and she's in the kitchen
preparing the food.
From a distance, in the back of my mind, I hear the words, Dave's Insanity Sauce, the world's hottest hot sauce. It couldn't possibly be that hot. But I didn't pay much attention to it beyond just hearing her say it, because she wasn't saying it to me. She just was saying it out loud. It couldn't possibly be that hot. So she finishes cooking. I finish. I get the DVD player working. Everything is good. We sit down. She brings the pots to the table. It's a pot of the sauce. It's a pot of the pasta. Then she goes to either wash her hands or goes to the bathroom, or something that she leaves the table. And while she's gone, I'm scooping the stuff out and putting it into the bowls so that when she comes back, it'll all be good. So pasta, sauce on top of the pasta. Once I finish doing that, she's still not quite back yet, but she's walking back towards me, and I take a bite of this pasta, and my whole head explodes. My mouth sets on fire in a way that I cannot describe. You know that guy on the movie Inside Out, when his head just... Oh. That's exactly what happened to me but it was my mouth. So I didn't even swallow. I just opened my mouth and let it all fall back into my bowl and was like, what? And I couldn't talk. So I run to the bathroom to kind of try to rinse my mouth out. But I remember that they say if it's something hot in your mouth, you shouldn't use water.
It just spreads
it around. So I go to the refrigerator, and in the meantime, she's like, is it really that hot? I run to the refrigerator, and all he has in his refrigerator is water and wine. That's all he has. Not even milk, water and wine. So I'm not going to open his wine. Water's not going to help. So I am just going to suffer. So I said, I got to get something. So I grab the door key and I leave the apartment.
Mind you, he hasn't said one word this whole time. There's no words coming out of his mouth.
And I just leave the apartment and I get on the subway and ride the subway to the only convenience store in downtown Zurich that is open this late on a Saturday.
I think it's Sunday. And remember, everything closed on Sunday.
Okay, yes, maybe it was Sunday.
We couldn't, yeah.
I would agree.
It wasn't late. It was just that it was Sunday.
So,
and everything closes in Zurich. At least in the year 2000, it did.
And I buy me 2 or 3 things of juice. And I push one down, and that helps to cool my mouth a little bit. And I'm like, okay. So now I bring the other ones home with me, and we get home. I get back home, and I open, I come in and say, here's these juices. Now,
in the meantime,
let me tell you. In the meantime, I'll let you. We won't even deal with that. Okay. So, and then Your Honor, I object to her interrupting my testimony. I object to her interrupting my testimony.
What did it say? Objection.
Sustained. Objection sustained. So anyway, I get back and there's a fresh thing of stuff. She gonna tell you how that got to be. And I told her, I don't care what happens in the rest of this marriage. Don't ever serve me anything that you have not tasted first. I don't think that's an unfair compromise. Considered it. I mean, that was that was the sentencing that I gave her, Your Honor. She could not serve me anything else without tasting it first. And to me, She didn't care if I lived or died. The way she put that Dave's Insanity sauce in my food, the defense rests. Oh no, sorry. I rest my case. I rest my case. Prosecution rests.
All right. In my defense, one, I did not know there was a such thing as hot sauce culture. That was my first introduction, barely an introduction to hot sauce culture, to know that people actually produce, make, and consume hot sauce that is so hot that you feel like you're going to die when you eat it. Like, I did not know that was a thing. I figured, they're just trying to get eyes and attention by saying it's the hottest hot sauce in the world. So, first learning point for me. And secondly, I put the tiniest drop. I said, it's possible that it could be really hot. So I'm not even I like my pasta to have a kick. I'm always like ordering the arrabbiata of any, pasta. My favorite thing at Squisitos right now is something that I asked them to make spicy. And the bolognese, that's what I like. The bolognese, make it spicy. So I love hot stuff.
The bolognese Diablo.
Right, exactly.
Of the bolognese Diablo. The devil's bolognese. Okay. Continue.
So I like a little kick in my sauce. So I did put, the tiniest of drops that I could drop into that sauce. So, I do apologize that when I tasted it, it had not quite spread. The heat had not quite spread throughout the pot. I don't know if that's true or not. But anyway,
she didn't taste that food.
Making you suffer.
She didn't taste that food.
I did. The other thing is, I don't know why we didn't bring something to drink that was cold. I guess we just assumed
water was fine.
And somebody had a refrigerator.
But water was fine. Water was fine for most scenarios.
Yeah, we did drink a lot of water while we was there.
Water would have been fine.
There. But anyway, so those are my defense. And I washed the pasta off while he was gone to the store. I wasn't exactly sure where he was going, but I assumed it was. And I feel really bad that you had to get on the tram, just burning up. I don't even know how you managed all of that out in the streets of Zurich, but I was not trying to kill him. I was not. I didn't know about this hot sauce culture. That's really my defense, Your Honor.
She rebuttal. She washed the pasta while I was gone. Like I said, I had put it on 2 bowls. She took those 2 bowls, put them in the sink, rinsed them off with water, made an entirely new batch of the sauce because we had more than 1 can. So she made another can of it. When I got back, we poured that onto the pasta, and you could still taste the heat.
The heat had gotten into the pasta. It's tortellini, so I could only wash the outside. I couldn't wash the inside.
And even she tasted it at that point, she was like, "Wow, this is pretty hot."
It was pretty hot. I said, "I'm sorry."
So do y'all think it was a dot? So let me give you my closing arguments. Do y'all think it was a dot, Your Honor? Was her evidence convincing enough to say that if after you cook it, wash it off, and put more on it, that you can still taste it, that it was just a dot?
Mistake? Oh, you don't think I put a dot in there?
Do you think that she tasted it before she gave it to me? What are the chances?
I couldn't have tasted it after it had bubbled.
I'm just going to say, the evidence speaks for itself. I'll let the jury decide. We'll let you guys decide.
It was a learning experience. It was not until a few years later where I learned about this whole hot sauce culture.
We learned. Well, okay. So let me tell you.
You learned about the hot sauce culture from Vermont.
No. That's not what I mean. So what we did, once we learned about this hot sauce, once this event happened, and we talked to Alan about the hot sauce, he said, "Oh yeah, that's really hot sauce. I got it from this place," and he tells us about this place where he got the hot sauce from. And I had a friend at the time who was, really, a hot sauce kind of guy.
Hot sauce in my bag, swag type of guy.
So I said, I'm going to go and buy him some of this hot sauce so that I can take it home to him. And we went in there, and do you know that Dave's Insanity sauce that she had on me? When they sell it to you, in a
coffin,
in a padded coffin wooden box that you got to sign a waiver before they even sell it to you. They said, if you are pregnant or have heart issues, you should not take this hot sauce. So, I mean, I'm just giving you some.
How could I know?
Honor.
And now they have a whole show, the Hot Wings, where people purposefully try to eat as the hottest hot sauce that they can stand.
That's good.
So it's a thing that I just was unaware of.
Oh shit!
What does that have to do with me?
What
does her lack of
attempting to murder?
What is that?
Lack of knowledge. That is, I declare ignorance.
Ignorance is not
a defense.
Innocence.
Yes,
ignorance is not a defense
of attempted murder. Yes, it is.
Okay, all right. You guys put your votes in.
Yes, please tell us what you think. If I was trying to kill him or not.
Case number 2, Your Honor. Case number 2, Your Honor. This is crazy, right? Case number 2. When we get back home to the house, I am trying to install a light on the deck of our house. There's no floodlight on the back deck. There is an outlet, but there's no floodlight. So I plug a small portable fan into the outlet, and it's a pretty long walk to the fuse box. So it's faster for Yalonda. Circuit breaker. So Yalonda,
we're not that old.
And I decide that she would open the basement door, which is underneath the deck, and she would flip one of the circuit breakers and come back and check with me to make sure that the fan had gone off and she had tripped the right one. Sounds simple enough. So she flips the first one. She comes out. Is that it? I say, no, that's not it. She goes back.
Listen carefully.
She flips the second one. She comes out. Is that it? No, it's not. Goes back. She flips the third one. The fan goes off. I say, oh, good. I get my wire cutters out and I go to cut the wire, and the next thing you know, sparks, and the wire cutter has a break in it from where it has melted. And I'm like, and I scramble away and I said, what's going on? And she comes out, she said, that was it? I said, yeah. She said, oh, it turned the lights off where I was. So I figured it couldn't possibly be the same circuit that you were on. So I turned it back on after I flipped the switch. Is that not attempted murder, Your Honor? Is that not attempted murder? Is that not an attempt on my life to say, I'm not going to do what we said we were going to do and go out and check with him and see if that's the one. I'm just going to make the decision myself, and if he dies, he dies.
Because of course that's exactly what
he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies. No.
I rest my case.
Were we even married when this happened?
So we might have these out of order from a timeline. So,
yes.
But
I don't even think we were married when this happened. So, yes, rest your case and let me demolish your case.
Okay, so this will be 1995 then.
Okay, right. So if you listened carefully to the story, you heard you didn't hear something in the third example that you heard all along. I came and I checked and said, "Is that it? Is that it?" And he did not wait for me to come check and see if that was it before he just went in with his tools. That is someone who took their own life into their own hands, because how was I to know that that was it if it was not confirmed? At least you could have been like, "That's it. I'm going to start working now. It's off." Any kind of communication would have been helpful to your own situation.
Submitting facts not in evidence. Oh my God. Just making up stuff now.
It's so not made up. You just told the story.
Submitting facts not in evidence.
What was missing from the third scenario?
You coming and checking.
And you weren't aware that I didn't come and check?
I figured you were aware. Coming.
But you didn't wait until it was all clear. You should have waited until it was all clear.
I should have waited for the all clear.
Yes. You should at least yelled up there and said, it's off. I'm starting. You got it. That's the one. Anything. Silence. She was like, okay.
That was my dying. That was the silence you heard. I couldn't speak because
you jumped in too fast.
110 volts was streaming through my body.
You jumped in too fast. You jumped in too fast.
I haven't had any hair ever since. I haven't had one strand of hair ever since.
But you're still alive.
Barely.
You're stronger for it.
To quote my son, barely.
You're stronger for it. The things that don't kill us make us stronger.
Yalonda, that's tantamount to an admission of guilt. That is what that is.
Why am I laughing so hard?
That's an admission of guilt right there. That is an admission of guilt. You're still alive.
And you're still here with us.
That's like saying.
How you complain?
That's like saying, because it didn't happen, that means it's okay.
What I'm saying is,
what you saying?
I didn't try to kill you.
Sounds like
I didn't try to kill you. Now, you may have almost died, but it wasn't because I was trying. I was trying to keep you alive and give you the off current that you needed.
All right.
So that was another lesson for me, is learning that circuits don't make sense. I'm on the deck and
I'm on the deck. You're in the basement.
Okay. I'm in the basement and he's on the deck. And why should those outlets be on the same circuit as why should the deck in the back of the house be on the same circuit as the basement room in the front of the house? But hey, so I learned that day that circuits don't make sense. Listen to me learning.
At my expense. Learning at my expense.
You're still here.
Could have caught fire. So, okay.
Could have, but...
All right. So that's case number 2. You guys take some time to write in the chat whether or not you think that was attempted murder, because I'm convinced it was. I'm convinced it was.
I think you don't have the evidence for the level of crime that you're trying to charge me with.
All right. You can consider a lesser charge of involuntary manslaughter. Voluntary manslaughter for that case only.
Is there such thing as attempted involuntary manslaughter?
They're not attempted.
If he's still alive, what would they? That's at that point. It's just
assault.
It's just assault.
Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Attempted involuntary manslaughter. We're gonna. I got a friend who's a judge. We're gonna send this tape to her because this is going to be evidence that we're going to be able to use. Because there's so much guilt-ridden admissions over here. It's like that Law and Order final episodes where they just
the tearful
confession at the end of the regular Law and Orders where they just break down. Yeah, exactly what's happening here.
All the Law and Orders from the 80s
and 90s.
80s and 90s always ended with a tearful confession.
The base Law and Order, not SVU, not Criminal Intent. The original, the base Law and Order. Jack McCoy.
He can get a confession out of you in a minute.
All right.
And you was gonna be crying while you admit it.
So you've heard 2 instances of near-death experiences. Let's give you one more because I want you guys to see the pattern. That's what I'm trying to put together here is a pattern of murderous attempts. That's what a pattern.
How things work
and murderous attempts.
Unfortunately, I had to learn through you.
And this is the most egregious one because she actually knows this. So she can't feign ignorance on this one. I'm glad she said that. That's a perfect. Y'all see how I set her up in the trap? She said ignorance. Okay, here we go.
All right.
2010. I have arthroscopic surgery on my knee. This is the second time I've had this surgery on my knee, but I have this surgery on my knee. She takes me to the hospital. Everything is fine. The surgery goes well, but I'm a little bit incapacitated, so they say, take him home, fill his prescription. My prescription is Percocet. And they give her some instructions. I don't know what instructions they give her, but they give her some instructions about what to do. So we stop at the pharmacy, we get the Percocet, I go home and I lay down and prop my knee up, and she says, here, take these 2 pills. It's about 6:00 in the evening. Here, take these 2 pills. Okay, I take the 2 pills, I eat something, fall asleep. I get up, it's about 11 o'clock, I'm getting ready to go to bed. She said, here, take these 2 pills before you go to bed. We don't want your pain to be bad. I said, okay. I take the 2 pills before I go to bed. I wake up the next morning. I'm starting to get myself moving around. I still can't walk really, but I go down. I'm going to go to work because I work on, I work from home at this point. This is pre-COVID. I've been working from home. She said, here, take these 2 pills. I said, I'll take them 2 pills. So now I'm working my day. It's about noon. She says, we want to manage this pain. Take these 2 pills. So I take the 2 pills. So I'm sitting there on the couch about 3 o'clock. All of a sudden my stomach started to give me, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm on a conference call. And I say,
and he's all propped up.
I got my computer laptop on my legs. On my thighs. My leg is propped up, and I'm saying, it's getting bad. I'm just, So I tell the people on the call, I got to talk to y'all later. And they say, okay. I close the laptop. I put the laptop on the side of the chair. I can't move fast because my knee's there. So I grab my shirt and lift it up and just throw up into my shirt, into just the well of my shirt. I just throw up into the shirt.
This is a sad story.
And I'm like, oh. And she comes, she's like, what's wrong? I said, I couldn't move fast enough. And she's like, okay. So we figure out how to take my shirt off without spilling any of this stuff. And I said, hopefully I'm good to go and everything is fine. I have to go back to the doctor's office because my follow-up is that day. I can drive. I'm okay. I get in the car. I change my shirt, put a new shirt on. I get in the car. I drive down to the doctor's office. My appointment is at like 5-ish. I'm standing at the desk of the doctor's office. I'm looking at the lady and I said, you got a trash can? She said, yeah, over there. I hobbled on my crutch over to that trash can, picked that trash can up, and just start hurling in that trash can. All in the trash can. The doctors come out to see me. Everybody's coming to check on me. I said, I don't know what's going on. They said, have you been taking your pills? I said, yeah. How many have you taken? I said, at this point, I think I've taken 8 or 10. And they was like, 8 or 10? You've only been gone 24 hours. You're only supposed to take them every 6 hours, no more than X number. I was like, my wife been giving them to me. And the guy was like, oh, okay. Is your insurance policy paid up? I said, how did you know? He said, you might be in trouble, son. You might be in trouble.
You just gonna lie?
Yeah. Your Honor, that's the truth. That's the truth of what happened. That's the truth of what happened, Your Honor. That's what he said. That's what the doctor.
At what point did you start lying just now? Where did the truth?
Everything I said, everything I said was the truth, Your Honor. Everything I said was the truth.
On falsehood.
It was the truth, Your Honor. I don't know what the guy's name was. Some guy. Some doctor. So, anyway.
We can blame that on the nurse who gave me the instructions for the Percocet. I think she was trying to get you addicted or something to because I follow her instructions. I don't know what about this whole scenario where you had a discussion with the doctor and the doctor said you shouldn't have had that many pills.
Sorry.
I followed the instructions that the nurse gave me.
So let me clarify.
She specifically said, let me
clarify my statement. Okay, Yalonda, I'm sorry. Let me clarify my statement. I was confused. I got a little confused. Okay. So I finished with the doctor, and I come home, and I actually look at the bottle of pills. That's really what I look at.
And it says every 4 to 6 hours.
Yeah, I think it said every 6, but
it's
every 6 hours. Every 6 hours.
I followed the nurse's instructions to the T, and what she specifically said was, you don't want to wait until the pain comes because it's going to be harder to relieve it if you wait. And that's what she said. That's why I said we can blame this on the nurse because she was doing some extra stuff. I guess she didn't think you could take pain. So she was like, don't let him get in pain because that knee pain, once it gets started, that inner joint pain, because what was it, a meniscus tear?
It was a meniscus tear.
She said, don't let the pain start. So I followed the instructions. And number 2, that has been determined to be just a side effect of taking Percocet. It's not like
you tried to OD.
It was an
not like you tried.
It was not. You were not being close to overdosing. That is a side effect. Adding new evidence to this story that we told ourselves plenty of times. But my mom, in preparation for an upcoming surgery, they told her, she asked, what kind of medication are y'all going to give me for pain after the surgery? They told her Percocet. And she was like, oh, I don't know if I want to take that. I think it's going to make my stomach upset. And they said, well, here, we'll give you another prescription for an anti-emetic or anti-nausea medicine. Because it's a known side effect of Percocet that it makes you nauseous.
Listen.
So these are the things we didn't know and were not told
now
at the time.
Your Honor, as a person who took and passed pharmacology in medical school, she should have known better. She took and passed the pharmacology course at the medical school before she decided she didn't want to be a doctor, which is fine. But she took and passed the pharmacology course. And you expect me to believe that she didn't think that she was giving me too much drugs? Even I wasn't like, I never once said, can you give me a couple pills? She just giving me the pills every time she come in there. Hey, take some more. Here, take some more. She like it. That's just giving me free drugs. Here, take these. Here,
number of times I gave you pills.
Take these. It'll make you feel good. It won't hurt. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Just go to sleep.
Just go to sleep.
Happy thoughts.
She wanted me to go to sleep
on your way out
and never wake up. And never wake up. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we have seen this pattern. That was the last time. And I started.
How long ago was that?
It was 14 years ago.
Exactly.
But I'm not sure it's because she stopped trying or I have gotten wiser. See, she doesn't even.
Because if you were getting wiser, I would be getting wiser too.
Yalonda, I make her eat that food. I make her eat that food before she give it to me. I went and bought me.
Still trust me. It's like he in the kitchen.
I went and bought me.
Taste it. He don't even ask me. Did you taste it?
I went and bought me an electronic circuit tester, so I can plug it into the outlet and go downstairs and test it. So I can get rid of that. I ain't worried about that no more. Now I read the pill bottle myself.
Take your own pills.
Take my own pills. See, so I'm learning. I'm getting smarter to save my own life.
And I'm getting used to having you around.
So, y'all give me the verdict on what y'all think on case number 3. And I want to know if y'all think she has tried to kill me. Now, it's obviously she's been unsuccessful. But...
Right. If I was attempting to murder you, you would be murdered.
She tried to kill me. Y'all, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, she's trying to kill me. She's not trying to kill me. She has tried to kill me, which means she wants to die. She want me to die. Life insurance policy is paid up. She get double. And you know she get double if it's an accident.
And I'd be like, insurance guy, I didn't know about this hot sauce culture. I didn't know. I didn't know circuit breakers could control something all the way up here and all the way down here at the same time. I didn't know that. Insurance check writer. Write that check.
Write that check. See, she trying to live the soft wife life. This is the soft wife life.
Soft widow life.
It's a soft life. This is what we're doing. Soft widow life.
I want you around most of the time. I didn't want you around enough to try to end your life. Never once. You're safe with me. Your life.
Isn't that what every killer says? Isn't that what every killer says?
Does this even look like the face of a killer? This is the face of a lover and the keeper around her. You're here, which means I didn't try to kill you.
That's not what that means.
It very well means that. But here's some lessons for marriage. Accountability. You see how I just apologized? I'm so sorry you went through that. I accepted by the level of responsibility that I had in giving you hot food and giving you too many Percocets. Don't
forget the last one.
The other one, the electric one.
And flipping the electricity back on.
I should have asked before I turned it right back on. I should have asked. But you also should have waited until it was confirmed by both of us that I knew that the electricity was off. How would I know that it was even off?
You come and you ask.
You yell and you wait until I come. Okay. She hasn't come yet. I'm not going to touch it.
Said no. Also, said no electrician ever.
Yes, said all the living electricians.
All right. So
that's the lesson of communication, and that communication is a two-way street. You can't make assumptions that the other person knows what you know, or that the other person is a mind reader.
And what's your conclusion on overdosing on prescription drugs?
Do your research. Do your research. Don't just trust medical and healthcare providers. They might take you down the wrong path. You got to ask questions. I trusted the nurse.
You trusted the nurse.
The healthcare professional.
All right. So we look forward to giving you guys the results that you give to us on these cases.
We want to hear what you have
Please
to say.
do them individually, not just this overall blanket innocence.
She loves you. She would never try to kill you.
I need to know your vote on each individual case.
And she's such a smart lady. If she wanted to kill you, you would be dead.
That sounds ominous almost. It sounds ominous. If I wanted to kill you, you'd be dead. If I wanted to kill you, you'd be dead. I want
you to be alive. Look at you.
You're not dead, so it's not like, because if I wanted you dead, you'd be dead. See, I'm not with that. Sure. All right.
I would never want you dead.
So
never.
All right. So thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. This has kind of been a lighthearted, from her side, episode. From my side, it was reliving tragedy over and over again. Over and over again.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your bravery.
I hope that you can learn something from me about saving yourself, because that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to save yourself. You can join us on Sunday nights.
Yes.
In the basement. This is the kind of stuff we talk about in there. The some of the lighter parts of our lives together, and some of the other stuff that people like Funklore and Miss KB and Tab Gilbert and I'm trying
Bearded Baritone.
Bearded Baritone comes in sometimes. Our dog Rich Nice.
Yeah.
These are kind of the things that we have conversations with them about when they come through. So, it'd be nice to see you guys in the house. Come on through.
Please.
Twitch.tv/DJ C Sharp. 9:00 Sunday nights. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Come through. Come through. You ain't doing nothing. Come on through.
And you can still do things while it's on. So, yeah.
It'll be the 5th Sunday. I think it's going to be 5th Sunday surprise, because
check us out on IG.
We're going to do something.
Might give you a little
something crazy. I'm not sure what. Yes, I'm not sure what. Yeah, we got to.
But it's going to be good, because C Sharp is a great curator of music. You love it.
So we'll be fine. Other than that, so I hope that you can take this information that we've given you and use it to find your rhythm of love.
Yeah, this was the jazzy portion of the improvisational jazz rhythms that we had going on during these times.
Or it depends on which side of the flavor you were on. Or that may be jazz on her side. On my side, it was that music that they play at the horror movies. That's the music it was. It was the don't go in there. Don't go in those pills. Don't take those pills. Listen, Kathy Bates. Misery. That's what I should be calling her. Misery.
You were laid up like he was. I didn't put you there.
No, you didn't. She didn't put him there. For the record.
Oh, but she did make sure he couldn't get up.
She made sure he stayed there.
Yeah.
She made sure he stayed there. But she didn't put him there. So hopefully you can use this information to find your rhythm so that you can
live by the rhythm and love by the rhythm.
God bless you guys. Have a good one.
Take care.
See you next week.
We hope you've enjoyed another exciting episode of Rhythm of Love, the podcast, hosted by Clarence and Yalonda Lewis.
Theme song by Kendra R.
Book graphics by Rihanna Denise.
More information is available at cYLentertainment.com.
Please join us on Sunday nights for our live stream on twitch.tv/DJ C Sharp.